going to see some interviews with some Microbrand watch owners that really impressed me.
So I actually got the metal bracelet on there, but it comes on this Italian blue leather, and the colorway is very nice. The quality is very good as well. I mean, I don't
live up to that hype. Doesn't actually live up to all that positivity. Should you consider buying one for yourself?
Hello.
Hey, what's going on, man? Welcome in. How you doing today, James?
Oh, I'm very good. I'm awake. It's 8 a.m. here in Australia, or just after now. So I'm present.
All right. Hey, I appreciate you being here early morning. Today we're going to be talking to watches, but you already know before we get started, man, we have to do a wristwatch check. So what do you have on your wrist, sir?
Well, since we're talking affordable watches and that sort of idea today, I'm wearing something that's brand new to me. It is a Boltony, which is an Aliexpress brand. It's very much a homage, this one. This is a date just homage, but it just absolutely blows me away, the feel of it and the quality. A couple of little improvements I could possibly sort of point to, but I've only had it a day and I just now can't stop wearing it. It it has a lovely feel to it.
Okay, that's lovely, man. I just got off work, so I have on my Hamilton khaki King.
Ooh, lovely.
Yes, this is one of those, just like one of my go-tos. This is like, it's easy, pick it up and go. You know, I enjoy this watch. And it actually, I was at work last week and this guy was like, "Oh my gosh, this is it. I love this watch." And I'm like, "Yeah," you know, I told him how much. He thought it was a lot more than what I paid for it. Oh man, coming to the stage, a man that owns his own business, and he is in a country that if our country don't get it together, man, some power's gonna get cut off, man. Welcome to the stage, Noctua Watches.
Hey, brother.
Oh
Hey,
man. That's the only political thing you're going to hear today. How you doing, bro?
Oh, hey, living the dream.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Glad you could join us, man. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you were here for the first time, thank you for being here. If you want to consider subscribing to either one of these gentlemen, what I did was I left a link to the in my description of watching James. But we're going to talk about the business end because I didn't leave this man's YouTube page. I left his business page. So go over to Noctua Watches and grab you one of his watches because your watch has been referred to as an affordable sin watch. So, bro, that is, man, hey, kudos, sir. Kudos. Your name's out there.
But I'll take it, yeah.
Yeah, bro. I tell you what, your watch is absolutely beautiful. And I haven't even put it in my hand yet, put it on the wrist yet. That time will come. I can't wait. And it will be in my collection. But today, ladies and gentlemen, everybody that's in the crowd right now, for the millions that are watching us across the globe, we're going to be talking about watches in a certain light because I wanted to get from the professionals. I'm just a guy that's just doing YouTube. I don't know what I'm doing. These two guys.
I don't know what I'm doing.
I was going to say.
Man. So, James, you have been on a crazy journey, bro. Like, you did a video where you announced you wanted to start doing YouTube a little more, right? And I'm thinking to myself, when I hear YouTubers say that, they'll do like 1 or 2 more videos a week. 2 at the max. Bro, you've been on a freaking tear. And you know what? I kind of feel bad for your audience because as you grow, your audience is let's see, their pocketbooks and wallets are getting lighter by the second.
Mine too. I keep saying, I get these comments saying, "Oh, you're making me buy this watch." It's like, well, making the video makes me want to buy the watch.
Oh my gosh, man. So with this journey that you're on, and you're so active on YouTube, and I'm not going to ask you what's your favorite and stuff like that, but we're going to be going over like watches that you would recommend to people, that you've come across, and then of course, my Noctua brother over there, you have a show coming up, right? Yeah. You'll be in attendance at a show. I want you to talk about that, man. But let's dive in, man. Everybody in the chat, man, please post what you were wearing at the time. If you don't have anything, that's fine. But what watch did you wear? And this is most important, what watches are you looking forward to for this year? We're going to touch on something, and it's going to get a little spicy possibly, because we're going to talk about micro brands versus luxury brands versus AliExpress. So I know this is going to be one of those where people are going to dismiss AliExpress is trash, is this, but hear us out before you before you say anything. Eric Mack, welcome in. Nerd with Swag, Corey, Lone Ranger, Vincent. Thank you guys for being here. So, James, this journey of AliExpress, bro. Would you consider AliExpress to be a one-stop shop for you at this point?
Oh no, not at all. I look at all watches and I just buy and get whatever that stands out to me. If it happens to be AliExpress, then it's AliExpress. If it's a secondhand luxury watch, then it's a secondhand luxury watch, or definitely micro brands as well. I think I try to concentrate on the watch, not the surrounding circumstances. But with AliExpress at the moment, they just seem to be putting out some great stuff, so it's harder not to buy more from them.
What about you, bro? I mean, I know you making your own watches, but like, are you looking at anything outside of what you're making?
Oh, I'm always looking, always dreaming, you know. But I don't know. I mean, I love my thing right now. Kind of obvious, I suppose, is German watches. That German aesthetic. So. Yeah, maybe, but I'd be leaning towards something like Hanhart or Zen or Laco, something like that. So maybe, you know, nothing that's going to be offered on AliExpress, obviously, but always used. There's not a chance I'll pay full price for any of that, and that's if I can bring myself to pay for half price. So.
Okay, I got a question for you guys. 5-watch collection. 5-watch collection. Yeah, I got to do it. I have to. Look, you see James' face.
I don't think that's possible at this stage.
Yeah, not it.
I'm touching wood.
Hey, and I want people in the chat, man. Yes, I'm asking this question. What if you had a 5-watch collection? What are you looking at as far as your taste level? What would you put in your 5-watch collection? Not saying that's going to be everything, but just 5 watches that you'll gravitate to. I'll be fair. You know, you can still keep in the back of your mind, hey, I got like 30 other watches, but this is your core. So I'm going to start with you, James.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'll physically show them to you if you like.
Oh, yes, please. Hold on. Let's put
My
you
Mont Blanc Nicholas Rusek is one. Oops, sorry, my dog is walking underneath me. What else have I got here? My Christopher Ward.
Ooh,
nice.
The AliExpress favorite of mine, my Herodland Turbine Pilot. I don't have my. Oh, yes, I do. Oh, my Erebus Ascent. How many are you up to? I've got about 6 more.
That, you know what, that collection, I want to get an Erebus so bad. There's so many freaking watches out there, man. Gosh, that are just they're beautiful, man. But no, you're not off the hook, sir. I see you over there, bro. No, I know you there, bro. Nope. What's up?
Chat.
Yeah.
What's up, Paul? Welcome in. Watch 60. Thank you for being here.
Hey, 60.
What you got, bro? What are you thinking? What's your 5-watch collection?
Any watches, any budget, right?
Yeah.
All right. Nothing crazy, honestly. I can't remember who I heard say this the other day, and I thought it was actually, you know, pretty ingenious.
Mm-hmm.
For a small collection like that, you might want one really heavy hitter. So one, you know, something more a little bit out of the park that you wouldn't normally buy, kind of thing. So for me, based on budget, like my own personal, probably a Tudor. So like I really love the Tudor Chronos, the Panda, or the Pink Dial. I don't know why I like that one, but I just really do. Definitely throw in 2 or 3, like say a couple of high-end microbrands for sure. Geez, take your pick. There's so many excellent ones out there. Erebus, Zelos, any of those, right? Definitely just a gotta watch. I'm not a huge fan of the term, but one that you just grab off the counter, just okay, gotta go, grab it and go. So probably a Seiko, just
okay.
Japanese reliability. I hate to say, not expensive, and there away you go, right? And definitely a cheap digital. Now, I'm gonna blow a lot of people's minds here. I'm not a huge fan of the Casio. Throw the number out there, whatever 97W, right? That what it is. I'm not a fan of that one. But when I was a kid, I always had Timex, like the Timex with the Indiglo. Like I think what the hell is it? Timex Expedition. I think.
Expedition, yeah.
I've got one of those still in my collection in my travel bag, and it's been on 3 different continents with me. So that's the change a battery, slap it on, and go wherever. Don't worry, kind of thing. And it's the same relevance as the Casio, right? It's digital, highly legible, does everything. Perfect.
Okay. That's fair. Man, you guys hit some heavy points, man. I think like for me, one of my favorites right now, as far as like a heavy hitter, what I consider a heavy hitter is Longines. I love Longines. The Conquest, the Hydro Conquest. I have one, but the Conquest is a beautiful watch. And I know the term "Gata." I don't know, when did we get that term? And I think Jody started that. That whole Gata thing.
Good chance.
Certainly where I picked it up from.
Yeah, most likely myself too. Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Slang kind of term too.
Yeah.
The lizard drinking, crazy stuff like that.
Yeah. You know what? And I'm trying to think who actually started the phrase "watch enthusiasts," because we would just watch collectors on YouTube. Man, maybe 6 years ago. I can't recall hearing the word enthusiast anytime before COVID. I just can't.
Sounds like an urban gentry thing, same as Monster and things. I think that's he tends to term quite a few things for us. I'm not sure where he picks it up from or if he's making it up.
What's up, man? Respectfully late. Appreciate you being in here, man. He has a crazy, because his collection slaps hard, bro. Like, oh my gosh, his collection is crazy. Let's see what the chat is talking about. My Longines Conquest, VHP, Formex Reef. Oh my gosh, Jack Mason, Dr. Pepper, GMT, Ball Engineer, 90s Rolex Datejust 36, Champagne Fluted bezel. Man, you just made my eyes sweat a little bit, sir.
Yeah, Mr. Sanchez.
God, dog. Well, I actually do. I have, I don't have that, but I do have a ball. Like right there. I had to get that. The thing about ball watches, there's not really a significant model that stands out. It's more of just the name. Hey, I got a ball, and people are like, oh, good for you. And I don't know. It's just like it's nothing that really stands out. You know what I'm saying? Which, keep in mind, I hope that at the end of this video, right, this live, that those that are watching and you're looking at home, don't feel that you have to follow a certain trend, because Rolex and Omega is going to be the top dogs that's talked about. It's the algorithm, man. You have to talk about Rolex. It's just one of those things. You have to talk about it. Some people have to talk. Let me correct myself. Some people have to talk about it because it's either, they're associated with, like, it's in their store or whatever the case is. I don't know. I had a conversation with a tuber, and that was one of the things is like, hey, I don't too much care about Rolex like that, but I just want to be in the algorithm. And I mean, okay. I look at stuff a little different. You know, of course I want to be in the algorithm. I want to, you know, my videos to pop, but also want to have fun, man. I don't want this. I'm not going to have the stressors of trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. So this is another reason why I want to have this video.
There's no way I can. So it's
Hey,
all
man. Let's see. What are you saying? It comes from EDC, carry knife, culture, and outdoors community. Oh, the enthusiast part. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. The chat is saying I was a collector, a calculator watch Casio kid. Yeah, I got mine taken in 8th grade. I'll never forget it.
Me too. I had one. And I never got another one because I knew I'd lose it the same way.
My parents wouldn't buy me a G-Shock in the 80s. They said it was too expensive. I promise it was, man. Yeah. What's up, Skyler? Skyler's in the building. Robert Wood is in the building. Thank you for being a member. Dr. Bobs is in the building. Thank you for being here, being a member. Ripsaw Joe. Everybody, the gang's out here. I told you there's millions and millions of people that are watching. They're filling in right now. You have watching James, and we have the infamous Noctua Watches, the owner, the curator, the man. He owns everything, man. He's going to take over the country. I'm actually going to move in with him. I'm leaving America, and I'm going to Canada.
Oh, I'm moving better down there somewhere.
Oh, bro, trust me. I would definitely. I'll have a better time over there. I'll just bring all the watches that I need up there. Don't have to worry about it. I think I'm good with the watches I have right now. So I want to get back to you, James, because you've definitely been on a tear with just AliExpress in general, man. Like you got the fever, bro. You got the fever, man, and that's crazy.
It's hard. Yeah. It's one of those holes in the internet, isn't it? You sort of get on there and you find a few, and especially when there's a couple that are coming out like that, San Martin watches that are coming out that are just so good. They used to be fun and affordable watches, and there still is a lot of fun affordable watches on there, but they're now just getting so good that they're in a different level now, and it's. Yeah. I'm very careful not to make them all my collection because that's a little bit boring as well. And I just try to look at the watches specifically, which is why I've got a range of different things. But I think they're definitely in the mix, and they should be part of the conversation.
Okay. So you feel overall. Now, no, you have a video actually, and I recommend that you guys check out James. You have some do's and don'ts, just some questions, or like not do's and don'ts, but questions about jumping into a watch because I literally said, I wrote them down. I said, that's actually a pretty good thing. And I've actually taken some of those questions you had. And like, am I going to wear this watch? Really? Am I getting it just because it's a popular watch or will I really wear this timepiece?
And it's a simple question, but it's funny. I get to know it, and there's some watches that I just love them, and I see them think I want to own it, but I just know I wouldn't then wear it. I'd love it. But why bother spending that money when that's just going to sit there and I'm just going to look at it and go, ooh, that's nice. I'd rather spend the money on something that I'm going to wear.
Absolutely.
Well, let me see. Only 220. Sheesh. Sub, no date, white Dow, Aquaterra, Cartier Santos. I ran into a guy at breakfast 2 days ago, and he has a Wittenauer, but he wants to get a Santos. And I I ain't gonna say I told him where he should go look for a pre-owned. And it's funny that you say that, bro, is like looking for a watch. You don't necessarily always have to buy brand new. And because this year, man, that's the thing I want to talk about because you guys know I just left DC. Amazing watches. I mean, amazing. I didn't get a chance to see Christopher Ward. And y'all, I'm gonna tell you this. The DC show was amazing. James, I know you're way over yonder, but if you're ever in the States, man, to catch one of these shows, man, it's amazing. It's a lot of energy, but I always recommend to definitely plan ahead because that you have to do that VIP for DC times because it is ridiculous without it. Trying to get to the watches that you like is dang near impossible, man. It's like Christopher Ward. There's about 150 people standing in line trying to get. And I'm like, the line isn't moving because people up there, they're taking selfies with their watches and stuff. And they're telling stories, which I mean, I love all of it. I think the overall experience is great, but it is annoying when you really want to get up there and see something new. Whether you want to buy it, and you can't buy Christopher Ward there anyway. Christopher Ward is one of the few companies when they come, you can't buy it. They just show you, and maybe they gave a discount of 15% off last year at Minutes and Hours. I think that was the first time I've ever seen them giving money off of a watch, or me hearing about it. You know, that was a one-time deal. And then somebody won a watch, which, you know, I tried, man. I was off by one freaking number, man. I was like, man, I was this close from getting a Christopher Ward. But for the most part, I feel that, you know, based off looking at your videos, right? Looking at Microbrands, independents, and major brands, I think you can have a beautiful collection with just piecing it out. You know, you don't necessarily have to, like you said, it'd be boring if you just did all AliExpress, right?
I'd be very bored if my collection was all AliExpress or all luxury brands or anything. It's focusing on the individual watches.
What is
suggest AliExpress as a place for people to begin?
That too. It's a really good gateway, and it's why would you exclude anywhere? You know, from watch. If you like a watch, who cares where it's from?
No, absolutely. You know? But instead of shooting them for, you know, a person that's looking for their very first watch, I'd probably tell them to go to the local department store, have a snoop around there, or the local mall, and take a look at a couple of different stores. AliExpress, I think it might be a bit of a sensory overload. You know, it would just be too much. The rabbit hole's too deep. You know what I mean? That's a second or third time watch buyer. But at least you have some, you know, what avenues potentially you want to snoop down rather than just the umbrella, right? But,
yeah, I agree.
And there's a lot of crap on there as well, to be honest.
Exactly. That's kind of exactly the point I was inadvertently trying to make. There's just too much crap to sift through first. So, unless you're just going off word of mouth.
Well, that's what we got, the word of mouth right here. Watching James, man. He did a video.
I think that's a really good point as well, because watching your video about being at that show, I was very jealous because I really wanted to be there. But hearing and seeing the people around Christopher Ward and stuff, that's really nice to see. And the reason and the way that I've had most of my hands-on experience with Christopher Ward is by being part of local watch groups and red bars and things. And I've then had the opportunity to see watches like Fears and Christopher Ward's and all sorts of different brands. And Jacob & Co.'s, I've, you know, never sort of had hands-on experience with a watch like that before if I hadn't been part of these sort of, you know, physical meetup groups. And that's really helped me get an understanding of different brands and different qualities. And, you know, I've handled a couple of the Bell Cantos now, which I thought was going to be the one watch for me, and they're lovely. But now that I've had hands on it, it's like, that's not for me. I love it, but it's nice to be able to have that interaction. And I think those shows that you're going to give you some of that sort of interactions as well.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Trap. How does that VIP thing work? I've never been to a watch show because the first one in Canada was last year in Toronto. So
yeah,
do they just, you know, two big guys just cut the crowd for you and all the VIPs funnel right through the
Yeah, you pretty much, I mean, so it's $25 because it's general admission is free. They just want to mark and see how many people are coming. So you have the experience of getting in an hour before everybody else, which is beautiful to do, right? Because I would recommend that, you know, whatever the cutoff point, let's say they allow 50 to 100 people come in. You get to walk through every booth. You get to look at everything. Random Rob did his video, and he was like, there was no restrictions. He just went straight through, and he was able to get, you know, all the footage and stuff like that. Because once you get in and you're trying to look at the watch, like I said, man, it's like Christopher Ward was packed. Doxa was packed to the brim. It was so many people that I missed Trafford watches. I knew Trafford was there. I just don't know where, right? Yeah. I walked right past him because if you remember in my live, I was walking. I was like, oh, can't get there. Oh, can't get there. I'm like, man, I'm trying to squeeze in. It's hard, you know? I got to see who I wanted to for the most part. Laurier was one that I definitely had to see. But to answer your question, that VIP, like I said, it's a $25 cost for you to get in, $25 per person, and you just have access and you can talk to the people.
Do
But
they
you know,
run- sorry, man. Do they
No, go
run
ahead.
like a media only kind of time of
So,
day or event?
I didn't see. Now they did have some. I think one of Teddy's writers was there. He was in the show. But they have their own vlog, blog, whatever. That writes the stories up. Now the difference between DC and Wind Up is Wind Up has an intermission where they'll have like interviews or they'll talk and they'll tell you what's coming out, which I think is actually a pretty good piece to do. But I saw where Jason up there, Zanea, he allowed, like all of the social media people to come in first, which I think every watch show should adopt that.
That's
I'm gonna
what's
just be honest.
in Vancouver again.
Yeah.
First evening. It's technically a 3-day event, but the Friday, just I think 4 hours or 3 hours, kind of half day. It's strictly media.
Ooh, Nerd with Swag said he's hitting the brakes. I bought 20 watches.
Ouch.
Sheesh. What's up, T White? Welcome in, bro. Appreciate you being here, man. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Which watch functions do you really, really like and want to see more of? I love watches with a chime and big day displays. So who wants to tackle that one?
I still love a GMT, and it's not even for any useful thing at all. I don't use it to time a different time zone. I just like that extra hand on the dial. I think it looks good.
Me too, and I'm a chronograph. I love chronographs, but I don't time anything. Everything I need to time's timed by itself. So
I tell you what, I have a watch here, Visitor Watch Company. Absolutely love this watch. Gosh, I love this watch, man. Visitor does it, man. Oh my gosh, bro, so underrated, man. And he has a new watch coming out. I think it's coming out in July or something. Like, I know it's over the summer, or hopefully it's over the summer. But I'm looking forward to that. His designs are so, like, for a Microbrand. And then you have to talk to him. And that's one thing I love. And I'm gonna get into that question because I saw it. That you hold up, man. Let me get into this question real quick while I talk about Phil. The beauty of going to Microbrand shows and talking to, like, just knowing Microbrand owners and stuff is talking to somebody that is so in love with watches, man, and just having it like is Phil that makes visitors, bro. You guys will absolutely love talking to this guy, man. You could just pick his brain. And he is so passionate, man. Like, he will get lost in the conversation. All you got to do is just sit back and listen to him. This guy, man, I like talking to Phil. But here we go. We off and running. I wonder why Microbrands are getting so high in price now. Do they think higher pricing makes more sales?
Nope. Price of parts across the board has gone up. And not just $1 or $2. It's gone up by a percentage. I just dropped a number of thousands of dollars over the last 24 hours, and the parts are kind of stupid. And it has nothing to do with tariffs. The parts were already going up before that. And that's across the board. So part of the high end, like the luxury market and everything, it's also them too. Like movements are getting more expensive.
Okay.
It's interesting when you talk to these microbrand owners, especially when they are just starting, and their pricing. Often they're selling them at basically cost because they're brand new. One way to get somebody into a new brand is to make them more affordable, and then they can't do that forever, so they then have to start increasing a little bit. But when you're doing sort of smaller orders and you're getting custom things and getting prototypes made, and I can only imagine how expensive it actually really is to get it all done, and let alone then the parts ongoing.
Oh, absolutely. Until you're ordering into the vast quantities, the thousands of pieces, I can't imagine you seeing a market decrease in your price.
No, and I think that's the only way sort of AliExpress is able to do what they're doing, because they are accessing massive amounts at lower amounts, and they're combining them together, and they're sort of overlapping somewhat, and then they're also direct to customer or somewhat sometimes.
Yeah.
So it sort of helps
And
keep everything down a little bit.
AliExpress is the Western world's Chinese joke, because that's the garbage that they sell us for overpriced prices. They have their own that's in-house, that's better quality, better pricing. They sell us the other stuff.
They've got their own specific website. I've got a friend who's
hell yeah.
Chinese, obviously, and he looks at it, obviously I can't read a certain thing, but it's like it's the exact same things and they're less. So I don't know. I want to get access to that. Maybe I need to start learning a different language.
Exactly. Well, it's like Japan too. You can't actually buy anything out of Japan. You have to buy through a third-party purchaser that buys it for you and then ships it to you. You can't purchase anything offline directly from Japan as an outside party.
No,
That's
then you have to access other things like Buy-E and things, which creates some complexity and some extra costs and reshippings, and that can be good, but it does put hurdles in the way.
Oh yeah, for sure. Nothing's impossible, that's for sure.
While we're on the, I mean, it's just a topic of this, because I did a live the other day, and Billy from not a watch snob had mentioned, like, he has this fixation on vintage pieces. So he's been buying vintage Rolex. I believe he has a vintage Patek or something like that. I know he has some high-end brands, but like they're older, right? And he's paying anywhere, I don't know, $1,100 to maybe $2,500. And I know there's some people that they buy these watches to either flip or just to secure a certain amount of money. Do you guys think that may run out at one point, considering where we're headed?
No.
There's
think
lots
people always
Yeah, there's antique stores for a reason.
Well,
And
what are you about to say, James?
I was going to say also, I think a lot of people who then buy into vintage, and I love vintage, but I've done this myself, is that you buy it and then you end up selling it as well, and it's sort of you end up flipping the vintage as well, so they're always coming back on the market. I know that I've ended up just settling on the two that I really like, but I've had lots.
You guys make some great points, but like, to me, I feel that's what makes like companies like San Martin, Suges, Pagani, like so obtainable. Even though like it's nowhere near. Hold on, I actually have one here. My Homage Doxa, right here, right? $85, right? And if you look at it, I mean, like a quick glance, you're like, oh, he got a Doxa. And like, nah, or I can either say, yeah, man, and just keep it moving. I don't want to talk, because I don't want you to really see my wrist. But no, I got it to see if I really like the design. I think the design is actually pretty cool. I wouldn't mind having a Doxa. If I was to do a Doxa, I would actually get that. I know, bro, JP, you said that you like Tudor, and I do too. But I think I would spring for a Doxa over a Tudor. That's just me. I mean,
that orange face Doxa has been on my hit list for years. I mean, between Crusteau and Clive Cussler,
They're awesome, aren't they? You got to pick the right one though, because of the different models. My friend's got one. He's got the 300, and it's really chunky.
Yeah.
So that taught me something. That if I ever buy one, I'll be buying second hand. So I need to be careful to pick the right.
And
model.
the 200 has crappy loom unless they fix that.
And that's weird, man. That's the one thing too. What'd you say, bro?
On a dive watch, to me that is strange to have a crappy.
Okay. So this is the weird thing about, since we're talking about like luxury watches versus this versus that. I'm just surprised that like a company like Swiss Watch Company, I have it around here somewhere. Swiss Watch Company applies 20 freaking layers of loom, and on a full charge, this thing will last about 8.5 hours. It's ridiculous the amount of loom that this watch has on it. but then you'll get, and that's $500 for a dive watch. That is a pure dive watch. Now you have companies that will charge you in excess of, let's say, $2,000, right? And you'll grab a dive watch, and the lume is just okay. And I'm like, what? On a dive watch? At that level, this is where it just blows my mind sometimes. And in some cases, I do agree with, what's been said. And I hear what you're saying, bro. The prices for parts are going up. It's not the tariffs. However, it's kind of difficult looking at a micro brand, right? That's homaging your favorite brand or something that you would rather have versus the micro brand. And it's like, let's say $1,500 away from the actual price. So you have a decision to make. I'm either going to buy this micro brand, which, I may know the owner, may be able to sit down and have dinner with them, but I really want that Tudor. I want the Tudor FXD, right? Like that, and I'm saying that for real. I really like the Tudor FXD. And somebody had mentioned a few months ago, Trap, you like the fixed lug situation? I like the FXD. I don't know how many times I have to say it. I like the watch. If you don't like it, don't like it. I like it. But I'm sure that there'll be a company that comes out with a watch that looks just like that Tudor. And
there already is.
Oh yeah,
Tactical Frog. It's 150 Australian dollars. It's like 100 US.
Really
good.
Yeah, and it's really good. Yeah, check it out.
Quit spending my money, James. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. So
I'll send you an affiliate link.
Yeah, send me a link, man. Oh my gosh, man. Hey, send me the link, man. Let's see. What's this? I own the orange dial 200. Beautiful. So respectfully late. He has the orange dial. So let's move on to a luxury watch. What is your go-to luxury watch? I'll start with you, Noctua. What is your go-to luxury watch? If you had any in your collection, like money's no object.
Okay, I thought you were going to say in my collection.
No. Money's no object.
I thought you knew me, bro. Come on. No. I don't know. Honestly, I'm pretty easy to please. If money was no object, I'd still buy a small house kind of thing. I don't currently. I don't wear a suit ever, so something really, really flashy is not really my style.
No Gerard Perigo, bro.
What's that?
No Gerard Perigo.
No.
No Brigade, bro. Brigade, come on, bro. You gotta get a Brigade.
No. None of that really floats my boat. I hate to say. I mean, even my idols are more kind of old school, like Steve McQueen, or things like that. So and hard.
So you stick it to I see it, man. I see it.
Yeah, okay. The 417 ES 1954.
Oh yeah,
McQueen wore.
I know you love that watch because you just rattled the number.
I know, right? So that one I like.
Nerd with swag. What are you saying? Example. It's just stainless steel. They want 3 keys. Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't know, man. You know what? I was looking at a couple of watches, man. I got my hands on the 007, which I love that watch, and I love it just because it's a 007, the Omega. And I did the bezel turn on that thing, and it was sloppy. It was slop. Man, I said, wait a minute. This watch is $10,000. $10,000. Okay. For those of you guys that, at home, if you like the budget brands, bro, like you imagine if you had a $10,000 budget to go out and buy whatever watch you wanted to, you could just go crazy, like Deep Blue, Pagani, like you could just go nuts and just have a massive collection. But like $10,000 for one watch, The watch is very, I mean, it's lightweight for what but it's a beautiful watch. But the Lume doesn't compare to some of the micro brands. I was messing with the watch and I was like, yo, no. Yeah. And I've seen people review this watch. I've seen people talk about this being like, you got to get this in your collection. It has to be. And I'm like, after I held on into it and looked at it, wore it, I said, no, you don't. Save your money. Go buy a Tudor, bro. Like, I mean, like, because that makes no sense, man. So I've seen where, again, James, I've watched so many of your videos, bro. And you like, there was one, because I love Panerai. But that one watch, and I'm like, that's sucker,
that's
man.
a really nice watch as well. I was really impressed.
You do know, and I blame you for this. That watch has been living rent free in my head, man. Dude, I've watched that video at least 7 times, bro.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, gosh,
Like
because
yeah, thank you.
hey, bro, listen, man. I'm gonna keep the lights on over there with you, man. Mess with me, bro, because you always again. Anybody that don't know this guy watching James, bro, like this dude is the epitome of information when it comes to watches. I love your approach. It's not like you shoving it down people's throats. You're giving your opinion. You're just presenting a watch, giving your opinion, and you're off. Straight to the point. I love it.
Well, I don't want to be a salesman. I've no interest in being a salesman. I've got no interest.
Please.
I don't like that hard sales approach in general. So I'm just going, hey, I love this watch. Let me share it with you.
Luxury grill for me. Vacheron 222 gold or longer one. Okay. All right.
See, yeah. no,
I just
either way.
Man, I just held on. I saw one for the first time, bro. That thing, oh my gosh. That's a nice watch. It suckers heavy too. I mean, I'm not against the luxury watches, man. I think, I was looking at a couple of Rolexes with what was that watch? It was a Yachtmaster that I was looking at. And I don't know if somebody had the diamonds added to it, but this thing was blingy. It was crazy. I mean, because a Yachtmaster already garners attention from, like, if you know what a Yachtmaster looks like, you can see that thing from across the room. You could like identify with it. I like that over the Submariner. Don't shoot me, Rolex people. Don't come for me in the comment section. I think the Yachtmaster is a lot better than the Submariner. And I know I got some Rolex people in here.
I like that rhodium dial on the Yachty.
Yada. Yeah. Let's see. My Seiko SLA Marine Master 300 has the best bezel action I've felt yet. Crazy expensive for a Seiko though. Okay.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that real quick because I've had some conversations with some people that don't own a Seiko and won't own a Seiko because they don't believe that the 4R, the 6R movements are worth the price. Like what is the King Seiko? The King Seiko. That's an expensive piece of hardware. So let me ask you personally, what do you guys think about Seiko as far as having in your collection? Do you think it's worth it or hard pass?
Well, I've owned that King Seiko, so it's a bit hard to say no to that.
No, I from Seiko from top to bottom, they've got offerings for everybody's price point and whatever you like too.
What do you got in your safety deposit box? Oh, you have all your watches in the safety deposit box. Hey, which one is it? Let me know which one it is, bro. I'm just asking because I want, you may need somebody to, like, I need to wipe your watches off because I'm pretty sure it got dust on them. You know what I'm saying? I'll take care of that for you, man.
That seems like that's the weirdest concept I've never heard. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's a different country or perspective or culture. I don't know anybody over here has a safe for watches, especially outside their own house.
Right.
And maybe it's because I just like looking at my watches every day that the idea of having to drive to a bank seems odd to me.
Mine is all, he said, collect the dust, about to sell them. You gonna sell your watches? Okay, hey, if they listen, Nerd with Swag is about to have a blowout sale. I don't know what the price is going to be, so stay tuned. You guys may be able to add something nice to your collection. Oh my gosh. Okay, you said somebody said that they want to do vintage. The only Seiko I have is my dad's 1960s diver used in Vietnam. I think, Julius, you said that before. I would like to, you know what? I think the older Seikos are, man, beautiful, man. Like, I would love to get my hands on that. That I would love to get my hands on. Now, I got a number of Seiko. I got a bunch of Seiko 5s everywhere here. I'm a fan of Seiko. I'm a big fan. I think, was that me? Yeah, someone of you. Well, who texted me? Which one of y'all texted me right now? I know one of y'all texting trying to be funny. Yeah. Y'all always playing, bro. Okay, so I want to say this. We're 46 minutes in. A couple of my sales, but to be honest, they're mostly sentimental. I'm just kind of thrown a little bit about, some of the conversations we've had, some of the videos that's out. There are a lot of mixed emotions right now. Some people are saying that there's really nothing to look forward to. Somebody just released leaked some Rolexes, whatever's coming out, and people going crazy over that. But there was a comment left for me yesterday, or I think earlier this morning, about Microbrands, right? And it was more of a comment than a question, but it's like, look, Microbrands are almost like a waste of space. I don't agree, but to each his own. Some argue that a microbrand, especially those that are homaging a something like a Rolex, we just keep it simple. Something like a Rolex is degrading the Rolex as a whole. It's like taking, everybody is piling on this fake facade of watch collecting. You're not a watch enthusiast. You're not this, and you're not a real collector until you get a certain watch. How do you guys feel about that? I already know the answer, but I'm just curious.
I really cringe when I hear things like that. I'll just get the watch that you can afford and that you like and that you enjoy and that you're wearing and that you're interested in. Yeah, and I think that the world responds to that as well, because you look at Rolex, there was there 10 times more fake Rolexes sold every year than Rolexes, or 100 times more or something. That tells you what the world actually responds to, not us enthusiasts.
We only have safes for our guns here in the U.S. Yeah, I guess there's room for watches still, but why bother?
Full of guns.
Oh man, Julius, I've heard this. We've talked about this, man. The gatekeeping. I haven't really talked about it as tough as other people have. I really don't want to tackle it as much because I want to keep like positive energy. I don't want nobody come over here and think that, okay, Trap he's one of those guys that's going to cause a commotion about this, because at the end of the day, I don't care what you collect. I think you should be happy with what you have. And I think there is sort of a healthy vibe when you're looking at these watches, whether you buy them or not. I've ran into a guy that doesn't own any watches besides, I think he has a smartwatch, but he loves watches. He knows model numbers. He's talking about. I was like, man, I was surprised. I said, so you don't own any? He said, nah. I'm just waiting for that perfect watch, or I may have it built. I mean, does that make him less of a watch enthusiast?
Those people that love Ferrari and think about Ferraris every day and wear the clothing and have all that, and they know every little detail, but they don't own a Ferrari.
Yeah.
I think
you don't have to own or possess the something that you're an enthusiast of. Not at all.
Mm.
I mean, maybe that's just because I'm broke and can't afford all of these things, but I'll justify.
You keep convincing yourself.
Well, please, thank you very much.
Well, bro, I wouldn't call you broke. I'll say, like my grandmother used to say, I'm in between blessings. You're just in between blessings, bro.
Hey,
That's all it is. You're in between blessings. That's it.
I'm rich with love.
There
That's
you
it.
go. There you go. Now I do want to talk about Noctua Watches, man. Noctua Watches for people that have yet to know about it. If you look behind his head, he actually has the hat on, and he has the model that loom is ridiculous, bro. You
I'm
got
a bit
you.
of a whore, aren't I?
Yeah, you got to give yourself a pat on the back, bro. You put out a product, and again, I don't even have it yet, and I'm excited about it. There's a few watches this year that I'm looking forward to having in my collection, and yours is one of them. And I'm not, and y'all, I'm not just saying that because he's on the screen, because I could just boot him off and just talk about it. But no, I think tell us where does the prices start with your watches for those that don't know?
You know what? You'll have to do the conversion, but
Okay,
600 Canadian, so I think it's just under 450 American.
And what you're using the is it NH34?
33, or sorry, 38, 35, 34.
Okay. And you have, how many models do you have so far?
5. I'm working on a 6th right now.
God, man, you busy.
I want to have at the show.
So you are going to have some at the show?
Oh yeah.
That is good. Entrepreneurship, man.
I gotta sell some. I figure why not.
Let's see. I'm going to sell my rollies I bought that I do not wear because the wife's making me lock up the bank because she knows someone will have. Hey man, you got to do what you got to do, bro. Hey, and right there, look, it's official. The Sin Killer. It's the Sin Killer. Hey man,
thank you.
Just looking at the man, I'm a loom guy. And I remember you were debuting it, man, and I saw that loom shot. I said, "Oh, bro, I'm sold." I didn't even see the rest of the watch. I just saw the loom, and I said, "I hate him so much because I'm trying." Listen, I'm in rehab for watches, man. I'm in rehab. I've been good this year too, y'all. Listen, I only bought one watch this year, one, and I don't know where it is. It's my gosh, what is it? Islander. It's my Islander piece. Is this it right here? Yep, this is it right here. I got it right here. That's the only watch I purchased so far this year, right? Under $200. I don't know if Mark, was I not supposed to tell how much I paid for it? I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you, I was messing with Mark when we were there. And the team was off to the side, and they had, the watches that they had that's in inventory right now, and then they had the watches that was for sale for the show. That this was one that's discontinued. And Mark plugged his ears up and said, "I don't want to know how much he's selling that to you for." I was like, "Okay, let's keep it like that." So I don't know, Mark. I just know if Mark, if you're watching, it was under $200, and I appreciate it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? Thank you. I love getting that $50, man. That $50. And bro, you know what? James, we got to get you over here, bro. JP, we got to get you here too, bro. Like I got to go to a show with you guys at some point.
Well, I'd love to hit the East Coast because it seems like that's where everything.
Oh my gosh, bro. We have to plan this thing out. And if all the stars align and having we got Skyler in there. Yeah. Skyler and wait a minute, Tyree from Wrist Unwound. He is the Timex god, right? So to speak. The dude absolutely loves Timex, man. And he talks about Timex just as much as people talk about Rolex. And man, I love his passion. I love his knowledge is ridiculous, man. I don't know if you guys ever seen his show. Crazy. He does a great show. Oh, wait, who is this? Rio. Have you seen Fat Cat reviews on YouTube? He's big on Invicta and Aragon pieces and defends them against the critics that owns expensive luxury timepieces. Yes, I actually know the guy. He was one of the first channels I was looking at when I started my whole Invicta thing. And I seen he's always going at it with or talking against somebody that's talking about Invicta. And here's the deal. And I've earned the right to say this. I have represented Invicta for a long, long time. My channel started off of Invicta. And I know there were some people that wanted me to, hey, Trap, you should continue talking about Invicta, which I still do because I have a number of their, and I'm not going to get away from it. Hence, and I'm not knocking any YouTuber for doing this, but everybody started off somewhere. And I've heard testimonies on here where people are ashamed of, like, well, you know, back then they kind of shrink when they, like, I was wearing this fashion brand, I wore a Fossil. Hey, man, you better say it with your chest. Love that watch. You should still have it in your collection. Enjoy it. That was your journey. That's where you started at. So you should be happy that you own your Invicta pieces or whatever it is. And I always have an Invicta piece around me. It's a big boy. Like, it looks like a stopwatch. It does, man. It's like, Coach.
Do they make stopwatches that big?
Yeah, you know. I have a number limited piece by Brito, the artist, and Invicta timepieces quartz. Yes, it doesn't taper. It just comes straight, and I don't shy away from it. I never will. I'm not ashamed of where I came from as far as my watch journey is concerned. And there are actually some Invicta pieces that I will still buy to this day. What was it? I don't know if it even has a name. It's like 46 millimeter. No, 44 millimeter. The entire case back is 18 karat gold, pure mechanical, and it was a watch that was made mid 70s. I think mid to late 70s. And I've seen it, I've held it in hand, but there's only, I want to say 3 people I know that own that watch. And if you try to buy it right now, it's going to cost you about $5,000 to buy that watch. It's very rare. And this was done when the family still owned it, right before some bank took over Invicta or something like that during the quartz crisis. But yeah, man, I just say, man, please enjoy what you're doing. Like, I don't see why you wouldn't. And I know we were talking about Fat Cat. I was just saying, you know, like, I don't want to go at people with that. You know, me and Fat Cat had our words at some point. You know, I backed off of it, man. I'm telling you, I'm not here for the beef. I can't. I don't want to do drama. I don't want to turn this into like drama. And I know drama sells, man. People love like the negative talk back and forth. I can't do it. I won't do it. Even before the tragedy just befell on my family, I just don't. It's too much positive stuff. I mean, we can be on here talking about watches all day. I mean, just go watch James, bro. His catalog is. How many videos do you have, bro?
About 650. I put out 3 a week plus a shorts now. 650.
Good night, bro. Good night, man. You're about to be the next, like, the Mr. Beast of watches.
Oh, I hope not. You heard some of the stories about him recently?
Yeah. Wow, man. Well, let's just say you'll be active and you'll be highly paid. Let's just say that you'll be the watching James of horology.
I just want to cover my own collecting. That's my goal.
Yeah, but I mean, but you know what? You're coming into a lot of homes. I'm sure, bro. I'm positive. You make it to America and you go to a show. Be prepared. People are gonna bum rush you, bro. They're gonna take pictures. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That means something different down here, I think.
Oh really?
It's a little more literal.
Oh my gosh, man. Let's see. What did you say, bro? You said Fossil actually makes a decent watch, in my opinion. Hey, man, listen. Fossil still has some good designs out there, man. But you know, on YouTube, man, Fossil is not that popular, bro. You know that, man. The go-to pieces are going to be the high-end watches. And I personally don't feel that building your collection, you really don't need a $10,000 watch in your collection unless that's something you want.
No.
You know, I mean,
I find it gets so boring when everybody just has the same watches as well. It's like, I want to see something different. Like, how many of these do you see featured? You know, that's not the reason why I bought it by any means. I bought it because I just really like it, but it always puts me off some of these. You know, like the Speedmaster. It's a great watch, but I almost don't ever want one, and I probably won't because of the price, but partly because it's just too popular.
Let me see. I had one early on. I passed it on. Now, but the watch felt decent and ran well. I mean, bro, and James, you actually had this on your channel. I think you gave this away. Glycine.
Wow, what a great watch,
bro! I earned this watch for promoting for a home shopping network, and this is the first Glycine that I've ever purchased, and I absolutely love Glycine. I think Glycine is, and I definitely want the new subby that they have. That
they're
watch
pushing
is
back
amazing.
again now, aren't they? I've seen a lot of things, and that bronze black.
Gosh.
I'm thinking about it.
You'll get it. I know you. I know you are, bro. You're gonna get it.
I'll wait for a second-hand one.
I'm not mad. So I'm gonna ask that you guys give some advice as far as, you know, like anybody that's new, because I'm pretty sure there's people that's watching. There's people that watch you, James, that they may not comment, but they're looking. What would you recommend for somebody just getting into the game? Like, what would you recommend for them as far as watches?
It's hard coming from the direction that we're at this point in our collecting. It's hard not to say you should just go for a Seiko, because that's a good entry for everybody, and it's a solid watch, and it's a well-made watch, and there's so much variety as well. And if you then go and move on to something else, it's easy to sell, which is not the reason I ever buy a watch. But I think it's hard to go past a Seiko as a good solid first watch. You know, my first good solid first watch was a Samurai, and it was fantastic, and I still love that watch.
And I'm pretty sure JP's gonna say, "Man, go get a Noctua."
Yeah,
you can't.
I don't know what I'm gonna say now. I got to scramble for something. James took my answer.
It's hard not to say Seiko, because they're fantastic, right? And they're the right price, and the quality, and the designs. And if you want a dive watch, you want a dress, it's everything, and and you could then easily just stop there as well. That's.
Yeah, you could be just a Seiko enthusiast completely, but one specific brand, I don't even know if I could say other than Seiko. Maybe Citizen. Just it's runs a similar gambit kind of thing. So many other choices, but honestly, I wouldn't tell somebody to gravitate toward any one specific brand. I would just tell them to gravitate towards whatever they like to begin. You know, especially if they've never worn a watch, maybe you won't like wearing a watch. maybe you'll find, some people don't like steel watches because they're too heavy. You like titanium watches. Maybe you like a rubber strap or a leather strap. I would say go cheap as possible, most likely to begin with. That's somewhere in the realm of what you kind of like. Start there. If you can spend $50 or less, perfect. Get a couple extra straps. That's enough to get the addiction going.
Sound like a Casio Duro.
I would certainly tell people, don't buy their Grail watch as their first watch. Don't spend 2 years wanting a Submariner, then buy a Submariner, because I think you're going to end up being disappointed, because you'll then probably move on too quickly, and then suddenly you've spent a lot of money up front.
100%. But if you can afford that, hey, knock yourself out.
What he said, he has out on a Sigma Design mechanical automatic Blue Planet 2 watch and the Marathon 46mm JDD Arctic Edition Type 2. Man,
I've had the first Blue Planet, and it was incredible.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah, that is a great looking watch, though. I will say that's a great looking timepiece. Let's see, and it's not that people don't want to watch it. Oh, yeah. So you know what? you said something. You hit the nail on the head, bro. There are so many decent watches that are not featured, but the truth is, if you make a review video on something that isn't talked about, you'll end up getting 3 views. I do agree with that to a certain degree, though, bro, because what's going to end up happening is there are people that are tired of hearing about. I mean, dude, how many of the Omega First in Space videos have you seen? Oh my gosh. It's almost like everybody's on this timer. It's like it came out and then you got 350,000 YouTubers and 15 major YouTubers doing that video. And, you know, you got people like, well, I'm the first one with it. And this is the first look. I'm like, who cares, bro? All you guys are about to say the exact same thing. And I'm like, you don't have to look, you don't have to click, but it's like, I like looking at that. And when YouTube is referring, hey, check this guy, and I'm looking, I'm just scrolling through, and all I see is Omega. And then the next day, all I see is Rolex Submariner. I'm like, Lord have mercy. Like, like you have to filter through so much to get to, you know, just to see, because I like to learn about watches. And again, James, your videos are entertaining. They're straight to the point. And JP, I've watched your videos. You're the same way. You get to the point. You know, one thing I do like about when you're doing a build or something like that, and you'll talk and you'll say, yeah, I'm just rambling. I'll laugh. Like, bro, like I loved it. I think it's charming that you do that. You know, that's just, I don't know, man. I enjoy that. And I like a hometown hero, so to speak. And that's what you guys sort of look. Even though, James, you have your growth, because when I first got introduced to your channel, I can't remember, I think you had about 5,000 subscribers when I first came across. Yeah, I think you was about like 5,300, somewhere around there, and I just watched it. I was like, okay, this guy's interesting. Of course, the accent gets me every time.
I don't have an accent. What are you talking about?
But your information is valid, man. I like that. Let's see. Yeah, I saw that. And that Siga, man, if you're gonna get that, bro, that's another watch that you don't see talked about. Siga used to be
Do you know why they don't talk about it?
Why is
Terrible views.
that?
And that's why I don't care about views. It's nice to get views, but whenever I feature a cigar design watch, and I feature lots because I think they're awesome, wow, I'd be lucky if I get 600 views or something for one of those videos. But I like making them because I like the watches, but I also like it with somebody like that who wants to then buy it. There's now a video there showcasing it. And I get some great comments 3 years later going, oh, I've just finally wanted to buy this watch, and you actually made a video about it because nobody else is making a video about it. It's even why I make videos about, and why this is a 15-year-old watch, and I'm going to make a very deep dive on this one because there isn't a really good deep dive video about that one. It's not because it's a popular watch we'll get lots of views.
Well, do it, because you know you're gonna get it. You're gonna do a video that's gonna get crazy views, bro. Like
not that one, but I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I just want to share and get it off my chest as well. All this stuff that's going in my head.
Well, I encourage that because I'm a fan of that stuff, man. I go through those videos, and I've seen some videos where, like, and you're right, like they'll get like crazy low views, man. But I'll sit back and like, man, this is very entertaining. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that, and I'll end up buying a watch based off of that, you know. So I actually went back. I saw a video from 16 years ago, and it's a glycine. Oh my gosh, incursor or whatever. I think incursor, and it's basically a round version of a Panerai. It was their take on the glycine's take on the Panerai. I mean, the dial looks just like it's set up like it, and it's Swiss made. It's about, they have one that's 44 millimeter and the other one is 46. And I looked at a review on both, and the guy that said that, like the 46 millimeter, he said the lug to lug is really long, so this watch, if you have a small wrist, is going to hang off. Beautiful watch, is this, that, and the other, but you know, I prefer you should get the 44. So I'm looking at that one. I found one on eBay. It's like $400, So that may be a watch that I add if it's still available later on this year. But I'm not trying to tap into my New York money, because I feel if I don't go to this New York show, the guys in the chat are going to assassinate me, man. So I have to go to New York. What are you saying? In my opinion, A.L. Lalo should leave Chase Dura, Tech Marine, S. Koifman watches alone. Seems like have done with glycine. You know what? Rio, I do agree, because Invicta, and again, I've earned the right to say this because I've been a collector of Invicta, been a fan for so long, and there's so much stuff that, you know, I've seen that just not right. Chase Dura is actually a beautiful watch, man. And they were a Swiss-made powerhouse back in the day before Invicta purchased. And it's almost like everything Invicta touch is just like now it's like a money grab, and they took S. Koifman and oh my gosh. It is disgusting what they did to S. Koifman. That was a solid Swiss-made company. And here's some little historical fact. The guy, I can't remember his name, but the guy that started S. Koifman and the guy that started Eugene, that started Glycine, actually met each other, right? And then the original family from Invicta, they all knew each other, right, at one point, and they helped each other at one point, you know, as far as manufacturing and stuff. And if you do a deep enough dive with Invicta, you'll see some conflicting points. Like the 1937, like that was the time they started. If you go and look and search and go deeper, you'll see like the first Invicta being built in the 1900s, not 1837. So at the time, the original creator of Invicta wasn't even a watchmaker, based on the information I found. And they did leather goods and stuff like that, so they can make straps. So, and I don't know, like, and I seen this years ago when I first got into Invicta. It was saying that Invicta, the concept Invicta, was started in 1887, but the first watch wasn't built until like 1906 or something like that. They didn't have a factory until like the early 1900s. So I don't know. I just saw this information and I had to go to a library and dig it up through books. Like, it's not online. Let's just put it to you like that. It's not. If it was online, it's gone now. It's like somebody pays some good money to hide that fact. I don't know why, but you know, I'm not going no deeper than that because I feel like the horological Illuminati is going to come get me. So I'm gonna leave it alone. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm not even talking about Rolex or Mega Bro, like Christopher Ward, VS, Block Review, both independent brands, but watch enthusiasts know Christopher Ward a lot more. Yeah. Let's see. Do you think is the top of your favorite US microbrands list of 3? Who is your top 3? I don't care who goes first. What's your top 3 microbrand list?
Hang on.
That's an evil question.
Here's probably 2. Dorenzo
and Erebus.
Erebus. But to be honest, Erebus, because of this watch, that particular one is just so good. It's amazing. But Dorenzo overall is just incredible. I love this one.
I have to try it now, man. Because I've seen Sophie. Sophie is in love with Dorenzo. And that was the first video I seen about Dorenzo. It was like, I heard the name, but like didn't care nothing about it. And then I saw a Sophie video do it, and I'm like, wow. And now you got it. Look at
Wise.
you.
They're pretty amazing as well. It's hard with microbrands. There's so many good microbrands, and it feels like there's been a real shift as well. You know, 5 years ago there was some amazing microbrands, but a small amount. Now they all seem quite amazing, or quite, you know, the different quality.
Bro, that's an evil question. That is evil.
How about Arkin?
Arkin
has some pretty nice designs.
Mm.
Avum. I don't know why I'm sticking with the A's, but Avum's Brian from Avum's got, like, he hand makes his own cases and everything about his watch, he actually like literally hand makes it. He's a machinist. So that's really cool. Isotope. I like Isotope watches.
Isotope is dope. Yes, I love
Yeah.
Isotope is amazing, bro.
Yeah.
Yep.
I gotta meet Jose from Isotope.
That's for you. That's for you, James.
My collection keeps changes. I think the last time I counted there's 37, but I'm trying to heavily reduce this year for a few reasons. But it's grown past that and it's grown below that. I try to keep about 20. 20 seems to be the right number for me, but I can't stick to it. Get
out of here, Long Ranger. Man, bro. I'm gonna tell you this. Visitor. I got to go with Visitor. Zanea is another one, and the thing about it is I don't know, man. There's so many. There's so many watch brands out there. I mean, Islander. You know what I'm saying? He got so many different watches that you can go through, man, and they're affordable, man, and they're fun to wear. And gosh, darn it, bro. I'm sticking.
I've got another one for you. Let me give me a second.
And then, oh my gosh, and then Cincinnati Watch. Oh no, that's my Hamilton. Cincinnati Watch Company. Crap, bro. They do some good work, bro. Gosh. I don't know, man. Ooh.
Nice.
that's impressive. Hold up. I gotta get a solo on that one, bro.
What time is it?
No idea. Actually, once you start wearing it, it actually is a little bit easier. What I want to know is why is there a piece of meteorite on the back? I haven't quite figured that out yet. But isn't that cool?
Yeah,
the brand that makes Nixie tube watches, but those are huge, and this is kind of more the wearable size watches because you can actually put it on and it actually fits.
Wow.
I think that meteorite has some type of it increases your circulation, gets your wrist ready for the next watch. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with it.
It's working. It's working.
Oh man, not about views. Just feel like watch enthusiast community is getting shortchanged by the algorithm. I like you, James, and we'll do a review on. Anyway, I'm passionate about regardless results. You know what? And that's, we'll end on that, man. DK is in the building. He is. Somebody brought up Fat Cat Collection, and this is Fat Cat's nemesis right here. I will say that. Let's see. Sometimes I wonder. No, Christopher. I've said this before, and I know that there's members of the team from Invicta that watch the show. And I don't mean this in any disrespect, but being a fan for as long as I have, I've been passionate and I've been talking about this brand for so long and representing. I just don't like how they went down the toilet just that quick, right? There were so many different changes, and I know that he's concerned about making money. Who isn't, right? That if you're in that line of work, but the one thing that I told AL back in, I want to say 2019, no, 2020, it was 2020. I told him, I said, man, you just don't know what you got. I said, these people are diehard fans of yours, man. And he agreed at that point, like, yeah, I would have never expected to get this type of, return, as far as the watches, because he's just putting stuff out. And for me, I'm just saying this for me, before YouTube really took the shape it has right now with, you're watching James, your Skylers and all the other people that are doing their thing on YouTube, it was all about Invicta and then Aragon, those two companies, but mostly Invicta. And you had cruises, you had events, you had Facebook groups, and everybody was trading watches. They were giving watches away, and it was all about this. And they had two gentlemen. You had Invicta Ryan and you had Jay-Z, not the rapper, right? Justin Zimmer. And they literally made Invicta look like it was the best watch on earth, better than Rolex, better than any other brand that could be out there, because the prices were great. They were using Swiss movements in their watches, and they didn't look like anything else. They just didn't, man. Like, honestly, bro, hold on. I'll think about this. Star Wars timepiece. This watch, like, you're like, what the heck? And y'all, James just dropped a video on an Invicta watch, and you guys go over there and check it out.
I'm waiting for the hate now. I'll be interested to see what the comments are. I think there's already been a few saying negative things. I think it's cool and it's fun.
And that's what I want, and I'm gonna keep doing, man, until my lights is out on this thing, man. Dad Mods is going to make a titanium watch down the road. Okay,
maybe. Honestly, at this point, I'm gonna see how the public likes my offerings at the moment, and then I'm more than welcome to listen to what they have to say for what they want.
Yeah, and that's all you can do, bro. I think what you've designed so far is great. Vincent, second hour, I 2 thumbs up. I love second hour. And for the price, I think you can get into a really nice watch. It's not overpowering. They're comfortable. They're great. They're great watches, man. Like, yeah. Ben Russ, yes. Military field watch. I do. I am. It's on the list. It's just, taking me a little time to get to it because this year I've been looking. So I have to get a Noctua. I have to get a Saul Baltimore. That's going to be my watch of the year. Sal Baltimore is the company that I'm looking at. Bernhardt Watch Company, and of course Sal. These are companies that I'm looking at right now. May become my favorite microbrands of all time. Outside of like my Texas brands, Dufresne is a nice. Dufresne is different. Dufresne is a different vibe. I really like. They're so far outside of the box, right? It's not just your average colorway. And I actually had some crazy comments when I bought my Travis watch. I said, why buy the Oris Kermit when you can get this true green over here? And it was people like, oh, we know Oris. We don't know that watch. That company's trash. I was like, yeah, please. I said, man, I paid less than what, I think it was like $500 some dollars. You got a Swiss made piece. And that watch that I have is running 1 second per day still to this day. Beautiful amplitude. The watch is amazing. And it just is. Oh, DK Tom, I love Fat Cat. I'm his daddy. He's my pride and joy. Oh my gosh. Yeah. We can never have nice things with him around. Where are you creating your own watch? I actually put that on hold for now, man. With everything going on with us, man, we're just trying to rebound, man. It's been this has been therapeutic, man. Like when I sent the word, I'll say, hey guys, I want to have a conversation tonight. And James like, bet, and JP was like, let's do it. I'm like, all right, I needed this. So I've said this before. I started my YouTube journey as therapy. I served the U.S. military for 16 years before I was medically retired from injuries and stuff like that. And I went to college. I really didn't have anything else going for me, right? Outside of being a dad, a husband, and stuff like that. And YouTube actually saved me mentally. So this is what I do. And I do appreciate, I don't take this stuff lightly, man. When the guys say, hey, I'll come up and talk. Let's talk. Let's get it. I greatly appreciate it. I don't take this stuff like, and for me, life, honestly, man, life is short, man. You never know what's going to happen. Right. So I love having these discussions, not to be all like serious or whatever, but like, I just look at life so much different now, suffering a major loss is hard. Getting back on the horse and trying to, like, life isn't normal for us, for my family right now. It's not. It's crazy. So I find my avenue right here, talking watches. And of course, there are comments. I was leaving those comments up. I actually got that advice from DK. He was like, hey, leave those comments up so people can see how ignorant these people are. But I've been dismissing lately, some of the stuff. People want to come in with their political stuff. And I know I cracked the joke about, because we got a Canadian that may cut down the power grid of a couple places, Minnesota.
Close the borders. Just close the borders.
Yeah. Oh. You know, I want to say one thing, and then he rattled through a handful of Western provinces that were on his side. He left Alberta completely out.
Oh man! Oh
Just,
my God!
You know, just saying.
Oh, currently wearing my Rolex Yachty. Yes, 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 man. That's what I'm talking about. Rock that thing in good health, man. James, are you a full-time reviewer?
Good question.
I've made a bit of a transition this year. It's a bit of a weird year for me. I've changed my workload from full time down to part time. So I'm only working 20 hours a week now, which has obviously reduced my income. So that's affected a few things, and partly why I'm releasing certain watches at channel things on my channel as well. But the big part of the reason why I've done that is so I can spend more time doing this. And doing it better. It's not the main reason. The main reason is more spending family and things and rearranging certain aspects of my own life. And Travis, with big changes and things that happen in life, it does make you reassess. I've had a few of those, nothing compared to what you're dealing with, but it makes you reassess. And when I can figure out that I love doing this, I love having conversations with you guys, I love talking about watches, I enjoy certain aspects of life. If I can reduce my finances and then just be comfortable, but have time to do things like this. Yeah. If this could become full-time, that'd be fantastic. It doesn't need to be a full-time income. I don't need that. But if it could just pay my bills, that would be great. But that's not the reason I do it.
Oh yeah, that's coming for you though, bro. I'm telling you, there are you just have it. You have it, man, because you're giving some valid information. Right, you're introducing us to, like, as far as the Aliexpress, and I know like this was a Aliexpress versus this versus that, type of conversation, but your look on watches, man, and the way you like your delivery, that's chef kiss, bro. Like, you are quote unquote like a perfect YouTuber, man. It's something that people, those that are, and I say that loosely, because like, of course, coming from you, you're going to say, like, there's some flaws, there's this, but there's a lot of entertaining values. There's a lot of values that you provide, right? I say that about Skyler. Skyler, like, for him to be so young in the game, there's a lot of value in what he does, right? And I say the same thing about Tyree. There's a lot of value, and he's sticking to Timex, but he's giving you information on why they make certain watches, and GMT time, where it come from. He's giving you like historical value, right? And I know you said you don't necessarily, it was one of those videos you said you don't really go into the history of the watches because it doesn't work out well with you. But
I'm not good at doing it, and it kind of feels forced when I do it. I think, there's channels that are great at that, and I watch them for that. That's not where my strengths lie. So I've realized I need to just lean into my strengths rather than.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, it is a game winner, and JP, man, JP is just so, like, bro, you're so laid back. If I had to, like, say you were a character, you would be from Hazard County, from like Dukes of Hazzard, bro. Like, you're just like one of the guys. You're just so just chill, bro.
Sorry about the flag on the roof and all, but
yeah, minus the flag on the roof, you know what I'm saying? But you know.
I'm too short. I can't see the roof. Can't see the roof of the car anyway. It's all good.
I'm gonna tell you this. I know there are a few of my relatives hated the fact they was like, dude, you know what's on the top of that car? I said, I don't care. That car flies through the air. They shoot arrows out of it. They hit their horn. Like, but do you know what? I said, I don't care. Ignorance is bliss. Just let me enjoy the show. I want to see them drive this car, get away from that stupid police officer and that hound dog in there. And watch Boss Hog just go, bro, I love the show. All right. It's a classic. I understand what it meant, but piss on that. I liked it. Right. So you're like one of the homeboys, man. You just lay back, man, and you say what you mean. You don't hold back, bro. You have a very defined quality I like. Wrist and Wellness in here. Hey, Tyree, what's going on, man? I appreciate you checking in. Paul, thank you so much for saying that, bro. I think you're an awesome guy too, because you go to so many different events. And And the day that I get to sit down with JP and James and everybody else, who is that? Dwayne. I ran into a guy named Dwayne out there in DC. He walked up to me. He said, "Hey, Trap, I watched the show, man. I appreciate you watching, man. I appreciate you guys supporting. This is amazing for me. Yeah, this is amazing." Let me see. He might have Mini Cooper with a British flag on the roof. Like, we can go. Let's go with that. Let's go with that.
I'm good with that too.
You own the second hour. Yes, that is a watch. I'm telling you, man. Second hour. If you want the ultimate cheat code, I say this. If you want to go to a one-stop shop, so to speak, go check out Island of Watches. And I don't get any paid or compensations for saying that. The only reason I say that is because he offers a number of watches that you may want to have in your collection. Gives you a list of stuff you can go look through, or you can go watch James. He got everything on there, affordable pieces, man. And then you'll get to see his grill level watches and you know, get to see the grill videos that he's talked about. And then go look at, he has the one, which is your most viewed video, is when you had all the YouTubers.
That did so well. It was so nice having you a part of that as well. I was really happy with that. That's the best video I've ever made. I think it just came out so nicely as well, and it was partly because I've taken some more time to work on videos that I really sat down and I really just pieced it together because I wanted it to be a good video, and then it was nice to be able to also. And the amount of comments that said it was the best video they've watched this year, like, wow, that is absolutely amazing.
Do you know I've watched that video at least 5 times. That video is so, I mean, bro, you did such a great job. You're a great man. Your production was flawless, bro. Freaking
this guy
flawless.
Talking about a glycine as well. He was awesome.
Yeah. Hey, man, that's listen, I will never get rid of that watch. I've upgraded it since then. Got that thing on, you know, a strap from Skyler got me in there on these Montrose straps, man. You guys are bad. You know what? You know how much money I have burned through messing with y'all? Just one, and then of course, JP will get some of my money this year, and I don't even care. I don't care. I love it. Wrist Unwound said that was a great video. There you go, bro. There you go.
I've got an idea for the next one as well, because I've got another question, so I'm going to have to get you to think about it.
Ooh, can't wait for that one, man. So before we get out of here, man, you gentlemen have anything that you want to say to the people, man, out there, man? Any positive words, any watches they should be collecting, or, you know, something light?
No, forget about what people think and say about watches. Just buy something that really grabs your attention. I want people to wear a watch and then just go, oh, that's the watch you should be owning. Doesn't matter what it is.
Agreed. My suggestion to anybody would be check out the watch fairs. If there's one in your area, check out a watch fair. You get to hold on to these things, check them out firsthand for yourself, put it on your wrist, see how you look, the way it looks on your wrist, the weight of it, so on. And if you're in Vancouver, in the West Coast, in April, come say hi.
Okay, yeah, man, there you go. I like Trap and James, also Dad Moms, because they do not act snobby about microbrands. There's another watch group that looks down on people that wear microbrands. Will not say the name of the group. And I can tell you this, man. I gravitate towards great people. I have so much respect for these gentlemen on the stage. I have so much respect for the people that's in the chat. I do it like Paul Sanchez. I said this before. This man will go to events, and he's the guy that you want to have around. I'm telling you, man, he's very knowledgeable. He will direct you, and he's developed a relationship with so many people. He is the epitome of watch enthusiasm, bro. And I don't say that like as a joke, or bro, you're literally the man when it comes to that. It's such a great attitude, man. Business owner and stuff like that, and he's always looking out for the next person. And I hope that's something we could do going forward this year. You know, positivity, man. Like you know how much energy it takes to be negative. Gosh, bro. Think about that for a second, man. That's probably the reason why your watch is not working right. You know what I'm saying? The deviation time is jacked up because you got so much negative energy. It's like reversing your watch, man. So stop it. Just be positive, bro. For real. So, yes, you won't get no snobby stuff over here with us, man. Wind up in Dallas next weekend. Really? Wind up in Dallas next week? Man, Philly show's coming up. Was it Minutes and Hours is coming up? Wind up in Chicago is in July, and then there's another event. I think Philly show is in September. So, man, that we at the end of the day, you guys will get some more videos from me, some more lives at these events that I'm going to. Minutes and Hours, I'll be there in Chicago on the 5th of April. And then you'll see me in Chicago and then definitely New York. Okay, so said James, this will be the last question. How do you feel about Canopy watches?
Canopy watches. I'll have to look it up. I'm not sure. I don't think I've seen the brand. Which that's the other reason why I like having these conversations. I get exposed to brands that they could be really well known, but unless you're actually being diverted towards it, I'm going to say it's a watch, so I'm going to like it.
Hey, James, I'll tell you this. Once we get off, yes, Research Canopy, they were there at the show. I'm going to actually upload. I'll upload a short tonight on Canopy watches. They have it's called the Field one that's going to be coming up. Like they're trying to get pre-orders. The last time I checked the pre-orders, they're trying to get 60. They're 21, and like you got until the 30th to actually, pre-own this watch. It's $499. Is man, the watch is, in my opinion, it's a spec monster because it has everything. It's high B, titanium, crazy loom. The loom is better than the Wake one was their first watch. For what they're offering, it is definitely when it comes to like, especially like a Sophie watch, it's specced out. The specs will put this watch to shame, right? But again, it's a micro brand, so it is showing that some people are, there are fans of the brand, but I'd imagine that thing would have been sold out by now. They'd have reached the 60. So go check out canopy.com and see if canopywatches.com. See if that's something that you guys will gravitate to. Again, I don't get paid for that. I just like the brand. The team is amazing. Their customer service is amazing. And that's just from personal experience. I met them down in Texas 2 years ago, and actually in Chicago, but then I went to Texas to see them. And that's when I bought my Wake one. Love the watch. So there's always hold up. There's always a brand to discover that makes this hobby great. Yup. And that's it, bro. Another Texas-based company. Yep, they're straight out of Texas. And Paul, Paul, do me a favor, bro. Go live with that video, the Formex video. Whenever they do that thing in the showroom, please go live. I want to see it. Definitely, even if you just send it to my email and I'll just show it on a short or something like that. That'll work with me. They should have sent you one, Trap. They sent Random Rob one. Bro, I'm not big enough yet, bro. Random Rob had he's about 100,000 almost. You know what I'm saying? I haven't reached that level yet. Which I do. Hold up. I do appreciate this brand sending me that though. You know what I'm saying? Like, hold up. I'll let y'all see it before. Vacuum seal. Yeah, boy. Woo! Oh yeah, man. Vinzianico is. Hey, I appreciate them doing that, and also before I go, I appreciate Kokomo sending me this bad boy, or actually blessing me for hitting 3K right here, and then it's like the next week I was at 4,000 and haven't grown. I don't know. It's just weird. YouTube is weird. YouTube, you were something else.
YouTube is weird.
Yeah, but keep watching these guys. Keep looking. Noctua Watches. Do me a favor. Go check out the links in the description. If you've never watched Watching with James, I'm telling you, you'll enjoy it. If you don't, man, I give you money's back for whatever that's worth. JP,
I'll give you that $5 later.
right? Hey man, that'll get me a small fry and a burger over at McDonald's, bro.
Can't get one of those over here. They're $12 over here.
Whoa, man, yeah, we got a $5 meal deal over here, bro. Woo, man,
$5 meal here for about 15 years.
Yeah, I think it was the 80s
bro.
when we had a $5 meal.
Yeah,
gosh, Australia, stop it.
Well, it's expensive here. It's very expensive.
Oh Lord, I still got to visit though. I want to visit.
Oh yeah, come. You got a free accommodation in the back room.
Yeah. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, we're out of here, man. I appreciate you guys tuning into these great gentlemen, man. Guys, thank you for jumping on and having this conversation, man. And we will return with some other. If you guys want to be a part of the conversation, let me know. Hit me up on Instagram. We can work out a time and date, because right now James is what time is it over there now? It's like close to 10 o'clock, man.
Yeah, almost 10 in the morning. Time for another coffee.
Another coffee? Okay, and it's time for me to eat and go to bed. So thank you guys for watching, man. Hey, Noctua Watch Course, is that marathon? No, that's not a marathon. That is actually his watch. That is his creation. That's his baby. That is his baby. And you know what? Bro, we got the same mic. That is crazy, bro. We got the same mic. I was just looking. I said, wait a minute. I know that mic. So, yes, man. Thank you guys for watching, man. And we are out of here, man. Until the next lightning strike. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all be blessed. Yeah, we out of here. We're going to play some music.